Hey, what's going on today, guys? In this video, I want to cover the Tier 5 progression and a fast farming method to get yourself Jasmine crystals for your Duraluminum. Duraluminum is one of the biggest resources we're going to need in the end game to maintain our base, to build up things. It doesn't just stop building our Mark 5 vehicles or our weapons or armor. It's also something we're going to need to build out our wind traps, to build out our depth stills, as well as maintain our base uh, when it comes to crafting those materials for the wind traps. So there's a lot of different things that we can use Duraluminum for in the late game. It doesn't go away. And this is why I want to show you guys both an early game method to get Duraluminum crafted, as well as a late game method when you have access to tier 6 vehicles, such as the carrier, as well as a carrier container that you can use to flash farm Duraluminum, components such as the Jasmine crystal. So let's get right into it, guys. All right, guys, so if you're just starting out and you don't have access to a carrier container or a carrier ornithopter, or even just an Assault Mark V that has a cargo hold on it, you're going to want to go in the buggy initially to the shoal to get your initial Jasmium crystals. This is going to be the fastest way to get it up and to get duraluminum pumping for your base. So I would recommend building a fob somewhere along here if you're going to use the crystals over to the north. The radiation starts right around this island over here, guys. So we have limited time when we're in the radiation, even with a radiation suit, to harvest these resources. So the best way to go about it is to stick to the islands right here, make a quick little triangle, and come back. You can also take a longer oval over here and harvest all four of these, but you're also going to run the risk of running into worm sand over here where the worm patrols. As you can see, the worm kind of goes right around here and patrols it, so you run the risk of running into him. Now, it's easily escapable if you know what you're doing, guys, but if you're not paying attention, you can run the risk of getting eaten. So I'd recommend sticking to these three islands right here and then making an about face and coming back over here. There's a total of three crystals over here on this island, three over here, and a six over here. This should give you almost close to a full inventory if you're just starting out, and you can return over here and reset the process after a few minutes. So if you're further along in the game, guys, there's two other ways you can go about farming your Jasmium. This is typically going to involve you being on the southern part of the map and putting a fob somewhere. There's several islands to choose from that are right outside the radiation. This is one that's popular. There's a couple other spots that I'll show you right now. You have one right here. You also have one over here. So you have several islands along the southern area that people will typically build their base. And then if we look over here, there's a nice little cluster of jasmium that we can follow if we have either a carrier or we can just island hop, with our buggy. But you can go right along this area until they all respawn, and that'll quickly replenish after you go back to your base if you're going on foot with the buggy. If you have access to a carrier, you can go right for the sixth node over here and along this area over here as well if these are still responding if you're fast. So let's just take over here as well, just so you can see in person. I would avoid these big islands because they're only one node on each of these little sections. The ones that are three are more efficient. So if you follow this route over here, and like some people, they'll build the base on the actual island to farm it. Uh, I wouldn't recommend that though, given that you need a radiation suit the whole time you're in here. As you can see, guys, there's a lot of clusters over here. And then if we go a little further to the north, we're going to hit that sixth cluster over here. Radials. So I would typically recommend if you have a base over here to farm the smaller ones instead that are closer and a little more efficient. Next up, guys, I'm going to show you a clip of me doing a quick flash farm with my alt using a buggy and a carrier and how quickly you can island hop and fill up your buggy inventory. Keep in mind that I have the planetologist perks maxed out on this character, as well as a hunter gathering for the specialization tree. Results are going to vary depending on how far along you are on both those perks as well as the specialization tree. But if it goes further, you're going to get a very quick inventory of Jasmium if you use this method that I'm going to show on screen in a moment. Thanks for tuning in today, all. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you found this information informative, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe. But also would love to hear your thoughts if this was the most efficient way to farm Jasmium when you did it, or if there's other ways that you found that were better along the way in your journeys in Dune Awakening. And thank you for tuning in. Take care.